everybody, Edo here, and the good folks at Stronghold Games have sent along a copy of Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition, and this is the long-awaited card game adaptation, if you will, of Terraforming Mars. I will say, I have played like 1/3 of a Terraforming Mars games at BGG Con like 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I don't even remember, 4 maybe. The event hall was closing or whatever, we never finished. That was about it. I don't own a copy. So pretty excited to check this game out. So in that regard, really basic memory of the game. But this is neat. So essentially in Terraforming Mars, you are terraforming Mars. And what that ostensibly means is there's this victory condition, which is the temperature's all the way up, the temperature's all the way up, the oxygen's all the way up on this tracker, and all of these terraforming terrains have flipped over. So you're like making it habitable. And it is a engine builder, but what's super neat about this one is based on the temperature and oxygen levels, different cards either work or don't work or can be used, can't be used, different abilities, that kind of thing. So you have this really interesting deck builder where different cards are valuable at different times, and you're actively using those cards not only to build your engine, but to change the environment to then change your engine. That's the crux of it, and it works really well. The other neat thing, and again, engine, I'm going to have cards, I'm going to have resources, I'm going to have money, and I'm going to have different types of, different discounts, and leaves or trees or whatever. But, you know, you'll be playing cards and building out a tableau of your cards in front of you. And each card has requirements, and you got to meet those requirements and special abilities. One of the things that's neat, though, and I do believe based on the quick start guide that also includes a, like, what's different in this versus the main game, is rather than having all the phases, you're doing this interesting simultaneous phase selection system, which is all players have phase cards. And essentially, you have each phase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And in your hand, you have the cards, and you're going to play a face down card, and you're going to flip it. All the revealed phases between the players, because we could flip the same phase, all the revealed phases are going to get played, but the one you chose, you get a bonus. So basically, like, I really want the extra bonus on phase 2, but I'm hoping that person will play phase 3. The other nuance is if a phase was used the last time by a player. So if I played development phase 1, then the next turn I couldn't play it as well. So you can like math what might happen and what people are likely to do. Phase 1, you're doing green cards. Phase 2 is red or blue cards, so just different types of cards. Phase 3 is an action ability from the cards you get to trigger. Phase 4 is production, all your cards generate resources. And phase 5 is like research and drawing more cards. Again, for example, with phase 5s, the ability is all players draw 2 cards and keep 1, but the bonus, if you were the person to play that card, is draw an additional 3 cards and keep 1 additional card, right? So it is valuable to do that. Other nuances is you get a special, you're a corporation or a business when you start, and it gives you little advantages and changes how many MC or money you have. And you're going to be using a couple things that have to like wrap your head around is like there are all these resource tokens, which are fine, but they denote 10, 5, and 1, but effectively like you use them in different places, so you're expected to like, they're like sort of universal counters rather than necessarily specific currencies. And you've got little trackers on your board. If you do remember, like one thing I do remember about Terraforming Mars is your board and everything was like people making their own player boards because everything could like jostle around. That's still the case where I've got all these counters and I'm going to be moving my tokens around on them. So like I wouldn't be surprised if people make leveled up ones. But this is supposed to be a smaller card game. Box is still pretty big. It fits the components and it looks like it will fit expansion cards. This is a dense, thinky engine builder. This is not a light game. It's presumably lighter than Terraforming Mars, but you know, there's a lot going on as you're building your engine builder, and it takes a while to start building it and going, and how you're pushing and getting the different victory points based on whether you move the temp up or the oxygen up and the different phases. It works and it's clean. I think my biggest problem, again, really enjoyed it. The rules aren't great. And in fact, they're like not great, and I even feel like they like clearly skew towards people who've played Terraforming Mars, which is fine, but that's why they have this thing that's like, what's different? I felt like the rules were for a game that you would expect to like be AAA. This is like one of the biggest board game brands, and the slightly lighter weight one. I would just have expected better rules, and they're serviceable and confusing at times, and I think they could be better. Also, there's like some awkward cards, which I even like went to board forums and had to look up. Like some of the cards that like there's a bunch of cards that say add a microbe to another card, but there's no microbe token, and you got to figure out, oh, it's these tokens, and it's not another card, it's another card that can accept the microbe. I had to go looking in some Terraforming Mars forums to figure it out. And, you know, again, all of the responses, it's a selected folks who are responding to this on a forum, but like are basically like, exactly like Terraforming Mars, idiot. And it's like, well, I don't remember how to play that game. It's been ages, and I didn't really even play it that much. So, again, just took a little while. Did a little extra research to make sure we were playing it right and all that stuff. But once we're over that hurdle, it plays nicely. It's not, what does it say, 60 minutes? That's true, right? Like I think this game, I think there's even a lighter version of this game that's like a 30 to 45 minute play that I'd probably personally like most. But I dug it. I enjoyed it. I will keep it and play it more. And really what stands out is the density of the engine building, the thematic element of the mechanics and what you're doing and how it relates to Terraforming Mars and the oxygen or the whatever heat temperature, and then coupled with the way they solve the simplification of the rounds, I dig. If you're a Terraforming Mars player, I don't know if this feels good or bad, but I thought it was a pretty nice solution, and I enjoyed it. So anyway, this is Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. Hey everybody, Edo here, and thanks for watching Gaming with Edo. Reviews over here on this playlist, League and Insider videos over here on this one. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. But most importantly, play some great games. Thanks.